Really want some chocolate and peanut butter right now for some reason. Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to try some hydro dipping, and we're going to be using this Easy Marble set. What it is, it's got all the colors you can see here: yellow, red, blue, green, white, and black. And they come in these little bottles, little glass bottles, and they're going to be dripped onto the surface of the water, and then they're going to be swirled around, and then we're going to dip a part in it. I'm just going to be using some small pieces of plywood. They'll work just as well, just to show how it works. And I'm going to dip a plastic cup as well, just to show that it can do curved surfaces. So let's get started on that. Let's take a look at the setup and see what we're going to do. So what we've got here is just a 1 gallon container. I think this was ice cream. We keep it over here just to keep stuff in, but basically you just want to use something that you don't mind to get dirty or stain, that you can just throw away when you're done with. I've got it filled up with water. You want it big enough that you can dip your part without it touching the sides, and you want it deep enough that you can dip the part without it touching the bottom or anything else, because you don't want to touch your part to the sides or anything and mess up your pattern or mess up the paint. So what we're going to do, it says we're going to take a bunch of different colors, and we're going to drip them in there, and you'll see how they work. They spread out and kind of take up the area, and you can just drip more here and here and here and wherever, and then we'll take something like a popsicle stick or something. We'll just go into it and swirl everything around until we have it the way we like, and then we'll dip the part in it, and then we'll set it off to the side and let it dry. So let's get everything set up and take a look at how this is going to work. Okay, so before we get ready to drip our colors in, I'm going to have my piece here just sitting right here to the side, ready to go. I've also gone ahead and put on a glove. This way it just keeps everything off your hands. It makes clean up a little bit easier. But basically what we're going to do is going to take these, and they just kind of drip out. And you can see they spread out across the surface of the water. Just go back and forth with different colors, whatever colors you're going for. I guess I'm just going with kind of a red, white, and blue theme here. And you really want to fill up kind of the whole area. It probably won't matter much for demonstration purposes, but normally you want to make sure to fill all this up, just if you're doing a bigger part especially, so it doesn't get in there and do anything to it. Then take something like a popsicle stick, and you can just swirl the colors as much or as little as you like, just to get kind of the effect you're looking for, whatever kind of swirl design. And set the popsicle stick off to the side. Take your piece, and if you want to mask anything off, do that beforehand. Whatever you don't want to get this on, mask it off with some tape or something. When you go to dip it, just dip it in at a slight angle. You just come straight down. Nice, slow, steady motion. And once you get it submerged in the water, you want to swirl it around. You can see how it's breaking up all the other colors around there. You want to do this so that when you pull it back through, you don't bring more with it. You don't come back through the paint on the way back up. So now everything's broken up. Let's pull it out. Take a look at it. Now ideally, if you didn't want the wood showing through something like this, you can put a primer on it with one of the colors that's in your piece. So where this one's red, white, and blue, if you didn't want to see any of the wood, you could put a primer coat of paint on it. Just a spray paint would work, of the red, white, or blue, and then that would give you a better base so that it probably wouldn't show up. White would probably be the best. But then that's what it looks like. We set this off to the side. Little tip in between dips. Just take a paper towel, just fold it over, set it on the surface of the water. Let it soak up, and then just kind of move it around. You'll be able to see all the excess paint that was on top kind of comes off. And then discard of the paper towel. Do it a couple times if you need to. Okay, so I'm going to do a black, green, and yellow. I'm going to do this one on the cup just to show that it can do curved surfaces. Where this stuff's really kind of transparent almost. Something like a cup or a mug or something like that, you would probably want some kind of primer on it or a base coat, unless you want some of the cup to show through. We're going to take a look at it and see what it looks like. Like I said, it's just going to be on a plastic cup, so just want to get the idea, just to show that it will do curved surfaces. That'll be good enough for testing. Again, just take a popsicle stick or something like that, just kind of run through it back and forth. Make your pattern in there however you want it. Now if you don't want paint or anything like that inside here, you can mask that off with tape or anything like that. Anywhere you don't want it, mask it off. I'm just going to hold it inside here. Same thing, I'm just going to hold it kind of at an angle. I'm just going to go down, go straight down with it. And as it goes down, the paint will kind of be attracted to it almost and just stick to it all the way down. Roll it around and break it up. Come back up. And you can see the finished product. I'm going to set this off to the side and let it dry. This also works pretty well in between when you're cleaning it out. If you get any little bits that stay in there, just take an extra popsicle stick and kind of poke at them. It picks them up really easy. Anything that won't come out real easily with a paper towel can be done this way. Most everything else sunk down to the bottom, so it's not going to be a problem anyway because of what we're doing is on the surface. So I'm going to do one more and show you one with a base color on it. I'm going to do, the colors I'm going to use are going to be black, red, and yellow. Anytime you want to put a base color on it, make sure that it is the lightest color of the three that you're going to use. Otherwise, if you do a red on top of this, I'll show you, I did another one. This one actually had a red background on it, and when I used the yellow, it actually turned it orange, which is kind of neat if that's what you're going for. That way you don't have to mix your own orange color. But either way, if you just want the certain colors in it, like for this one I'm going to go for black, red, and yellow. You use the lightest color in it, which is the yellow. Everything else where it's darker should cover over top of this. Actually, the red will probably make this orange again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go black, green, and yellow. Change that out real quick. And then we'll dip it and we'll see how that comes out. Whenever you're swirling this, start at one end, kind of whatever you're going to do, come out on the other end. You can see it starts sticking to some of it. So you don't want to come up in the middle of your stuff and then have something drip and mess up your pattern that you're going for. So I start at one end, come out the other, and then lift it up, and all your excess paint will be on the stick. But go ahead and dip this. And there you go. Now, had there been any places where the paint was not in here, it would still show up yellow because it had a yellow background. So I'm going to set this off to the side as well. We're going to let everything dry. Take a look at it here in just a few minutes. Alright, so here's what we ended up with. And get this in here to focus. This one came out alright, but it came out a little bit blotchy. And I think that was where there wasn't a base color on it, so there wasn't a whole lot for it to stick to except for the wood. Still kind of neat in its own right, but you can tell the other ones came out a lot better. It was just more crisp and clean and everything. Just a lot better looking pattern. And even the cup came out really nice. And you can see this stuff, even where it's already dry, you can tell where the light's hitting it. It comes out with a pretty glossy sheen on it just after it's done and sits out and dries. Of course, you're welcome to put any other kind of clear coating on this that you want to protect it for depending on whatever project you're doing. Basically, that's it. Take a look at everything overall again. And that's how you can make your own kind of swirled designs on pretty much anything that paint will stick to. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this video. If you like the content here, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when my videos come out. I appreciate all of you all. Thank you for stopping by. We'll see y'all next time. Take care. Hello and welcome back to another video. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. I just... So what we've got here is just an empty. It's not empty. What the heck?